Honestly, we're not ready to win. We don't have the discipline to do what we have to do at crunch time to win. It's both ends. We tied the game, and they ran a cross screen. Come on over here, Tom. They ran a cross screen to who I think is their best player in Taylor. And they ran that play 6 times. We made an adjustment on it at halftime. And we acted like we didn't know it was coming. And it wasn't a freshman. It was a senior. So I could sit here and say, well, we're young, and we are. And I can say, we'll get better. But if you got a guy that's played for you 4 years, making that mistake at crunch time in his senior year, that ain't good. And that's what happened at Easter, and it happened tonight. Western Michigan is 4 starters back from an NCAA tournament team. McCormick played great for him tonight, came home, made some shots. So that's a really good team. And we didn't have, our offensive firepower that we normally have. We didn't make shots. We really struggled to put the ball in the basket. How many layups did we miss? But we showed some really good signs against a great team. We hung around, we battled at home, and we got there, and we put ourselves in position to win, and then it kicked in. Our problems that we have to fix, kicked in. And that's why the last 5 minutes in both those games went that way. But let's ask these guys questions so we can get them out of here.
Tommy, can you talk about what this game meant to you?
It means a lot, getting a chance to play for my mom, have a game in her honor. I really thank Coach Kampe for that, and Oakland University for allowing that. This game really meant a lot for me.
It seemed like their game plan was to stop Corey and Kay. Did you see things kind of open up for you because they were keying in the other guys?
Honestly, nah. I just knew coming into this game I was gonna try to leave it all out there, play as hard as I could, do whatever I could, just try to win. To me, it didn't matter what they would have did. If they would have tried to triple team me, Corey, or Kay, I just wanted to play as hard as I could.
Tommy, they say that, but you look more aggressive out there tonight. Is that an initiative from the coaching staff? Is that something, a confidence in you that's helped grow? Or?
Yeah. Came a lot from the Eastern Michigan game. Seeing that, a lot of things are, open up to me. I actually watched a lot of film today. See, like, a lot of people like to sag off, or they like to, play me certain ways. Talking around Marshall a lot helped. I'm just trying to be the best player I can be right now.
Any more questions, student athletes? All right, Joe. Thank you.
Coach, obviously an emotional night for Tommy. Just kind of talk about his effort tonight.
Well, I thought he was really, really good. And he made a couple mistakes down the stretch, and I kind of got upset about it. But I don't know if he's ever played 36 minutes in a game before. And, he was probably a little bit tired. And I probably should have rested him more. But, the second half, you were fighting from behind. And I think I made a mistake by playing him all that many minutes. But he was so good. And he was the only guy that offensively was really, doing the things that we needed done. So I left him in there, and a kid like that emotional, got tired at the end, and I think he made a couple mistakes, that was more due to fatigue, not due to, him not thinking. Where the other mistakes I talked about were more, spacing out and not getting things done that you're supposed to get done at crunch time. You don't make mistakes that makes the mistakes that we made at crunch time when you're a veteran. And it just happened, and, you know, it's right now, you know, we got to get better at it. And don't forget, I have 2 young men coming that will help me make other people get better at it when Daniels gets back from his foot injury and Weaver is cleared to, you know, he can't play because NCAA rolls until the Michigan State game. So there's 2 really good players coming that'll help our depth and make us better. So, you know, there are people who are playing for their positions, and you make mistakes like that, you may not have that position by the time we get to league play. And that's what we got to do now. We got to get better until we play. You know, Valpo comes in here January 2nd, and we got to be a really good team on January 2nd. I'm gonna tell you, I think we can be. Now, we're not now. We're not now. But I'll tell you this: we battled our tails off for 35 minutes when everything was going against us against a really good basketball team, and we had a chance. We just weren't good enough yet to win.
Coach, another follow-up about Tommy. You said yourself that guys that transfer, it takes time. Like, nobody's going to walk in on the scene and dominate or anything like that. Tommy, just the highly rated player he was by all the recruiting services and things like that. We're getting a glimpse of what makes him so good, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, he's still got his flaws and his issues, you know, especially he has lapses defensively and you know, but when he is motivated and he's learning to be, he's a very, very talented young man. We saw that. He's long and he can do some things. Shot the ball extremely well tonight, but you know, he came into the game shooting 71% on the season, and I don't know what 8 for 13 is. You know, now that I got a cell phone with a calculator on it, I don't have to know those things. So
We'll wait, Coach. Go
yeah,
ahead.
No, that's all right. I don't have it with me.
Oh, okay.
So
You want to borrow
you know,
mine?
Yeah. So you know, I mean, this isn't a one deal thing. We've played 3 times, and he's shooting the ball extremely well. He, you know, we're 3 games into it. I'm not gonna beat the drums for him yet, just as I'm not going to beat the drums for being 0-3 either. I mean, it's not happy to be 0-3. I never thought we would be. I really didn't. I thought we would win 1, maybe 2 of these games. But I can't change that. All I can do is help this team get better. And, you know, it's on me to do that. It's on my staff to do that. And we feel pretty good about a lot of things that happened tonight. But we also know that, you know, down the stretch, we've just got to become a better basketball team. And I was really pleased with the crowd. I thought that, you know, the students did a great job for us, and it was good, you know, for Tommy's mother and that. It was really nice, and I hope we sold a lot of buttons, and I hope we made money, and it was a good night other than the last 5 minutes.
Can you expand on that? Has a lot of his aggressiveness come from within, or have you guys tried to?
Well, we've worked really hard with him. You know, I call him the Incredible Hulk, you know, because you got this mild-mannered guy, and then he turns into this green thing, and he just destroys everything. And that's who Tommy is. And every once in a while on the court, he turns into this green thing, and you saw what he was tonight when he does. And then he goes back to being just Tommy. And it's his, you know, it's his whole life. You know, it's his life in a microcosm on the floor. I mean, just maturing and growing up and learning. And, you know, I think he can be the superhero for us. You know, I really do. But it's got to be, you know, it can't be a bad thing that turns him into that. You know, he's got to show up in that costume night in and night out and be consistent. And I'm not going to say he's not going to do that, and I'm not going to say he is, because we played 3 games. But we've seen, you know, he's been pretty good for 3 nights. So it was super tonight, and he was really solid in the other 2. So he's got to keep going, and, you know, we've got to be able to learn how to win a game at home when you don't shoot well, and we didn't as a team.
You guys have 3 games coming up in 3 days. I mean, 1, fatigue at all, and 2, how is that going to prepare you maybe for conference tournament maybe down the road?
Well, you think about that, but right now that's so far away. I mean, what it's going to do, it's going to force me to play everybody those 3 games. So Jalen Hayes is going to get minutes. Femi Obajobi is going to get minutes. I really went out of my way to get Femi minutes tonight, even though this, you know, it was, you know, the game was on the line. We were behind the whole time trying to catch up. So that was a good thing. Jalen only got 4 or 5 minutes tonight, and next week I got to get him minutes. He's got to get minutes, and that's what the freshmen have to do. And, you know, we're 0-3, so it's not like I'm worrying about winning 32 games or something like that now. We've got to get ready for Valpo. And so that's what this whole tournament's going to be about next week. We got some really, really good teams coming in here next week. I mean, Toledo and Georgia State are both two of the top 20 mid-majors in the country. Western was one of the top mid-majors in the country. And then Western Carolina, I watched tape of them today, and I was shocked at how good they are. They lost to Alabama in the last 30 seconds the other night, and they played Mississippi State at Mississippi State down to the buzzer, too. So I wasn't expecting Western Carolina to be, you know, what we're going to see. So we're going to see some really, really, really good basketball next week. I don't know, was tonight good basketball? I mean, it was low scoring and that early, so I don't know what people thought, but I mean, it was, two good, one really good team and one team we don't know about playing their hearts out, and I thought we saw that tonight.
Is it any more frustrating losing to an in-state team? Maybe
Oh, yeah. We had a 4-game series with them, and they beat us all 4 games. And that's not good. It's not good in recruiting. It's not good in anything. When that series started, if you went through the mid-majors in the state, we would have been considered the top mid-major in the state at that time. But we're not anymore. We're not. And Western is. And they went to the tournament last year. They got 4 guys back. They've beaten us 4 years in a row. Eastern's beaten us 2 years in a row. And so, we can't beat our chest right now and say we're all this, because we're not. We used to be, but we're not. And we have to get back to that. We're committed to getting back to it. I believe we're going to get back to it. I think the pieces are in place for us to get back to it. I don't know if it'll be this year or not, but I really like our future. And I believe that we have a chance this year to be really good. I also could tell you that I can't sit here and say that's going to happen, because some of the mistakes we made are happening over and over again. But once we get Nick Daniels and Colin back, and we've got our whole team with a lot of interchangeable parts, the whole recruited team, we get better. I'm not going to say before this season's over we can't be where we used to be. It might not be till next year, but I really like and feel we're on our way to being that. Long answer to your question, yes, it hurts to lose. We're not what we were in the rankings in this state, but we're going to get back to it.
Real quick, is Nick still on pace to come back right around that Michigan State game?
Yeah, he's got a very important doctor's appointment on Wednesday of next week. Yes, Wednesday of next week is the 6th week. And we're hoping that he gets out of the boot. Right now he's out of the boot on the bike in the water. And he says he's pain-free. But, when he's out of it, he's limping. And then he's back in the boot, but he can get on the exercise bike. If next Wednesday they take him out of that boot and tell him that he can start putting, weight on it and shooting jump shots and, running up and down the floor a little bit, some light running, and then start. Tom Ford's great. Our trainer's great at getting kids ready. We could see him by Michigan State, maybe even earlier. If that goes bad next Thursday, then we may not see him until Christmas.
Any other questions, guys? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.